Good afternoon, Sava here from Football Heritage TV. The dust has settled after the night before. A disappointing defeat to Fulham in the League Cup second round on penalties. There has been much talk about who is to blame for this. Is it the second string players that aren't good enough? Is it Ange Postecoglou's fault for not playing the first team when we don't even have Europe this year and we shouldn't be resting our best players for cup competitions that we've not won for 15 years? Or is it Daniel Levy, the chairman, the ever consistent figure in this story? Let's be fair, this isn't the first manager that has gone weaker than normal in the cups. Granted, normally it's not 9 changes, but we seem to do this every year. Let's get into it and find out why are Spurs allergic to trophies. Yes, good afternoon. Obviously, there's a huge inquest going on amongst a lot of fans. I get it. There are a load of fans who won't see any wrong, and that's fine. Many other fans are really, really disappointed that one of our only 2 chances of silverware, we're not going to win the league. One of our only 2 chances of silverware has disappeared by August. It's August the 30th. The transfer window isn't even shut, and we are out of a realistic cup competition that we could challenge or try to win. No guarantees, of course. So what happened? Well, let's look at it through the timeline. Ange Postecoglou said that he's going to put out a team that's capable of winning. Ange Postecoglou says that he wants to win every game and that he wants to try and win trophies. Unfortunately, then all of the YouTube creators, the people, the fans, the football pundits, everybody on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever platform started talking about, well, how many changes should he make tonight? And people are saying, well, 3 or 4 is okay, 2 or 3, 5 at a push. He's then made 9 changes to the team. Now, there's ways of looking at this. Now, what my anger from yesterday has gone. And my anger, let me tell you, is more because I thought that the football we've played so far under this manager has been breathtaking. The players we have in that first 11 are brilliant. Not all of them, but most of them are very, very good, brilliant players. And you're thinking to yourself, we've got that feel-good factor. We haven't lost all season. Keep it going. Keep that positive energy. It's 3 games into the season. No one needs a rest. And then 9 changes. And just like that, fans, people saying, this is what we always do. Other fans saying, it doesn't matter. It's just the League Cup. We don't want to win that. Where have those fans been? Why are their heads in the sand? What's the point of football if you're not going to try and win trophies? Other fans saying, well, he made the 9 changes to prove to Daniel Levy and the board that the players weren't good enough, that he needed to see for himself that they weren't good enough. I'm going to ask this question. In one of the only 2 cups that Spurs are able to win, is that the time for experimenting? Is that the time that Spurs should be going, let's see what these 9 are all about? Or do you pick 5 or 6 of your best team and sprinkle it with 3 or 4 of your B team so that you've got players to fall back on, so that you've got your centre-half combination there, so that you've got your centre-mid engine room still there? But he didn't. The only 2 he left in was Richarlison. I can't even begin to talk about that guy. He frustrates me. And Van der Ven, who's been at the club for 3 games and is 22 years of age. Another thing that's being thrown at him is he's never, ever dropped a captain before. And yesterday we dropped the captain and the 2 vice captains. So it wasn't even as though he went, right, Sonny, you're not playing as captain, but Maddison or Romero, you're going in as vice captain for leadership. So it doesn't make sense. Now, before we get on the beating Postecoglou bandwagon, and let me just say, by the way, for all the people that have said to fans like me and others, you want him out? No one wants him out. The guy's a fantastic manager. He just happened to get it wrong. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. I think within top-level sport, people get praise, they get criticism. That's how it is. That's not just sport. That's how life is. He does very well, we'll sing his praises. If he doesn't do well, people are going to call it out, and there's nothing wrong with that. People can try and be better fans and say, you don't understand. What I don't understand is what? That Tottenham Hotspur haven't won a trophy for 15 years. And then we get a manager that comes in, plays great football, and decides that in the first cup game as our manager, we're going to put out the B team who aren't good enough. That worries me. But I don't think all the blame sits with Big Ange, does it? Because this has happened time and time again. Maybe not to the extent of 9 players being changed, but we've seen this. Last year, Sheffield United, 2 of your best players are dropped. You get knocked out. You bring them on when it's too late. The momentum's not there. We did this against Sheffield United. We did this against Nottingham Forest. We do this quite a lot. We get to cup games. We rest players. We don't take it seriously. So is that message coming from above? Why has Postecoglou suddenly gone from we want to win trophies, we want to put out the best team we can, to changing 9 players? Now, did he genuinely believe that the B team was good enough? When, let's be fair, most of us who have seen these players play year in, year out, we know they're not good enough. And every year, we, the fans, are the ones that have to suffer this. Not the managers that come and go. We, the fans. How many years do we need to watch Royal, Sanchez, Davis, Højbjerg, Skip, Richarlison, Lo Celso? How many games do we have to watch these players in reserve, in cup games as the reserves, to know that this team isn't good enough? So, is it that the priority from the top, is it that the priority is not winning cups? Let me say that sentence again. That the priority is not winning cups. The priority is what? Champions League football? Getting that revenue? But the priority never seems to be the cups. Now, I'll argue this fact and say, well, hang on. And I'm just sitting on the middle on all of these debates. I'm just putting it out there for all of you to debate this in the chat. We've got to finals. We've got to semi-finals. Can't put that on Levy, which is fair. You can't. If you get to the final, you get to the semi-finals, you can't put that on Levy. So there have been times when managers have made bad decisions. But the question is yesterday, was that on Levy? Was that on Ange? Is Levy telling Ange, don't worry about the cups, put out a B team, save the players for Burnley? Let that sink in. Do you think our chairman's doing that? Is he truly saying, don't worry about the cups? We don't want silverware. Don't worry about the fans. Nah, don't worry about them. They don't need silverware. They're happy. Just get them top 4. They're happy. And in some cases they are, because the comments I'm seeing today from people, I can only assume a lot of these people are new fans that haven't followed Spurs for years. Spurs traditionally were a very good cup-winning team. Now we have fans of a club that haven't won a trophy for 15 going on 16 years saying things like, it's only the Carabao Cup. What? What do you mean? We don't win any cups. Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, Man United, Arsenal. These guys always win cups. You don't hear them talking about it. Oh, it's only the Carabao Cup, because it's a winning mentality. But we've got fans saying, just the Carabao Cup. It doesn't matter. He needed to use this to showcase his poor team. But again, was it him? Was it Levy? I'm baffled. I just don't know what to think. But what I will say is this. We don't live in a fair world. We don't live in this woke world where everything is fluffy and lovely. If fans like myself, like Henry Wright, like whoever, have called out the manager for the decisions yesterday, that is justified. The same way we praise him when he does really well. There is nothing wrong with saying somebody has made a mistake. The attack on some people is just mad. You're not real fans. I've been a Spurs fan for 40 years. I've travelled the world watching Tottenham Hotspur. I spent thousands upon thousands upon thousands of pounds. I talk about Tottenham Hotspur every day, but you're not a real fan. You're a plastic fan. Henry's a plastic fan. Why? Because we dare call out what was obviously a very poor bit of management. But was it him that was asked to do it? Now, we've got to go and beat Burnley, because if you don't beat Burnley, all of a sudden it makes that result look even worse. But for me, you play your best team last night, you then play your best team against Burnley, and you have a 2-week international break. no Europe, and we're still going weak in cup competitions. What are the priorities of the club? What are we here to do? For the record, I think Postecoglou is a great manager. I think when he's putting his first team out, playing Ange ball, I think he's a great manager. I think last night he got it wrong. I think he needs to take that on the chin and we move forward. But all in all, it was disappointing. It is bad to be out of the cups. And the worst thing about it all, people, is there were many fans calling this before the game. People say, oh, hindsight. It's not hindsight, is it? If you put out a B team, you expect B team results. Many people called it before the game and said, the season's going well, playing good football, the team's picking itself. When are we going to be Spursy? And people hate that word, but we did it, didn't we? We did it. We've got to learn these players aren't good enough. Hey, join me right now, about to start on Henry Wright's channel, myself, Sean and Henry Wright for the Wednesday show. Join us. It should be, as this video is pre-recorded a few hours back, should be just hitting upon 6:30, about now-ish. Jump over there, join us. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Leave your thoughts. Keep it clean. Be nice. Just debate football. And as always, come on, you Spurs.